Welcome back to another inspiring episode of Z to Z. I'm Louis Picasso, your host, and together we'll explore the world of franchising from a unique Z to Z perspective. In today's episode, I'll be interviewing Monica Yelin, who is the Executive Director of the Hispanic Liberties Alliance of Arizona. Monica's journey from immigrating to the U.S. from Colombia to studying and ultimately getting involved in U.S. politics is truly inspiring. She's here to share her insights on how various government agencies and elected officials can assist franchisees as well as franchisors with their business issues, ranging from taxes to zoning. But unfortunately, we had some technical issues, but we'll be able to cut into the conversation already in progress. I'm excited to hear more. So let's talk Z to Z. Kind of summarize is business owner has the ability to contact their state and federal representatives if they have an issue, like you were talking about with the IRS, or any other entity within the government. You also have the Minority Business Development Agency. That is an agency that is surrounded by the State Department, the Commerce. Mm-hmm. And then you have the chamber, the many chambers that are within, not only in Arizona and the different areas in the counties, they're also in every state. And then you have the networking capabilities. You have all of the small business associations that are localized and also federal. And you also have on the federal side, you said you have the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is also one that is a popular place to go and get some help
at the national level. Yes,
at the national level, correct. And then of course the Hispanic Liberty Alliance, which is the local right now, which I know that it is localized right now, but I would assume that the plan is going to be to take it nationally, at a national level, And I think that it's also important to reiterate this. If you only have an ITIN number, which is the individual taxpayer identification number that the IRS gives you. If you don't have a social security number, this is what you use when you're applying for anything in the IRS, small business association, even loans. And so when you get to that point to where you need help, there is a wide variety of resources to go to. The International Franchise Association, if you're looking at getting into franchising, the International Franchise Association has, annual conferences and conventions that talk about, that have a wide array of subjects that the Hispanic and minority business owner can have. The Hispanic Latino Franchise Leadership Council is also another one that's part of the International Franchise Association. So we've talked about all of these resources and to support and back up the Hispanic entrepreneur. One of the things that is one of the biggest problems that the Hispanic entrepreneur has, and Monica, you could probably see if there's anything that can be of help that you might know of that you can share with our listeners. One of the greatest business challenges that Hispanic owners had, they cited that there was two related areas, and that's raising capital was with the primary difficulty of finding funding opportunities, and growing the business.
First of all, regarding funding specifically, there are a lot of nonprofits out there that we don't even know their names, but if we research on the databases in the states, there are nonprofits that actually help businesses sometimes. There is the Minority Development Business, the MBDA agency, which helps businesses, and you might be able to find funding. You also want to, of course, there are options that are less conventional, those startups and things that online when you can collect money when you have a project. Of course, you have to be very careful and be wary about fraud and using those types of online resources to get money. And if you want to learn about grants that the government can give you can go into either your city website, because cities have grants sometimes and they give money to businesses to start up, so to help the local economy. Sometimes you can get grants from your county, you can get grants from your state, or you can get grants and you can get it at federal level. You can go in grants.gov. That's the federal website for grants. Okay. And those are, ways to get funding. Of course, getting loans. A lot of people go through loans through the SBA, or they go through loans through banks. That's a way to fund. But of course, marketing and networking, that's an indirect way to get funding, because you're going to get more business and you're going to get more clients and you're going to increase your revenue that way. But it's important to learn about all these options and resources that are out there. There are associations, business associations that give funding.
Thing you mentioned, I think, is grants. There is grants out there that are available for minority groups, Hispanic groups, African American, groups, women, minorities, that they can go and apply for. And I think that's important. I think that's something that we all need to understand, and we can go and look for some of those. I believe what I'm trying to find, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has a lot of options.
Yes, I was thinking about that. They
Yeah.
have a great website, very descriptive, talking about grants, loans, programs, actually. And it's a good option to go through. The chambers are always a good way to start, because they have a lot of information. They focus on that.
Yeah.
And reading the website for your local governments, the cities, because cities have goals. Cities have certain goals to keep the local economy going. So cities sometimes are very motivated and they have certain grants for businesses, because they want to keep certain amount of businesses open, and they have a goal. They have like a business development manager. Each city, they have different titles, but in a nutshell, they are business development managers. And you will be surprised when you go on the website and you see, oh, they have these programs. Sometimes are loans, but you can pay them at a long term, or the interest is very low. And also important to know that you have an issue with your state agencies. You can contact, let's say, as a business owner, you have an issue with the Department of Economic Security in Arizona or any state. You contact your governor, constituent services. Sometimes you can contact your legislatures, and there are ways online to say, find my legislature, to know who is your legislator. You can complain to your legislator about your local agencies and your state, whether it is the DMV, the department, the Department of Motor Vehicles, or the Human Services, any you can complain about that. That's very important. And of course, if you have issues with your city, you contact your city manager, your councilman. So this is important, because some people might miss an opportunity because they didn't know that they have a choice, they have a resource, they have an option to, oh, who do I contact? I know someone that had an issue with the Department of Economic Security, and they happened to meet me somewhere at a meeting, and I said, well, you have a statute of limitations for the issue you're having. But how do I reason with them? I can't. Well, contact your legislature. And guess what? The legislature recovered like $15,000 for this person. And if this person never met me or never knew about who to contact, they would have lost the 15 grand. So these are important things that people need to be aware of. And of course, franchise, the advantage to be a franchise is franchise have a lot of help, right?
Right.
The franchise, whomever owns, like the mother, I call it the mother.
The franchisor.
The franchise, whoever owns the franchise, the original, that they have a lot of help for you. There is a lot of support, thank God, because franchises don't want to see a failing, branch.
No, and they don't. And I think that's, you brought up a good point, because a lot of the franchisors out there don't really know. And we talked about this, about integrating the Hispanic culture into their franchise organization. And if it's really hard to support and help Hispanic franchisors or franchisees, I'm sorry, that they want to bring in to their brands, you have to know what the culture is. You have to know what their needs are. You have to know what their obstacles are, in order to properly support them, right? So if so like for example, the Minority Business Development Agency that we talked about, the MBDA, that's a great source of grants. There is another grant, a source for grants is the FedEx Small Business Grant. They do help and support brands with them. I think they have a maximum of $50,000 of a grant that they can support for small businesses. And then one of the biggest ones out there is grants.gov. It's a one-stop shop for federal grant opportunities, and you can apply online. It provides guidance. It provides you programs and all kinds of agencies that can support through the government, that can support small business, minority businesses as well. And then there's another one with that. It's also part of under the umbrella of the National Minority Supplier Development Council, and that is the Business Consortium Fund, and it's an organization that with certification from the United States Department of Treasury provides a wide range of financing options, business support for certified minority-owned companies. So there is a certification process that you have to go through to become a certified minority-owned company, but it's very simple to do. And then you have the National Association of Self-Employed. The National, it's a nonprofit trade association, offers access to grants and entrepreneurs. So it's a really good. So, and I can go on, and there is so many out there, but it's a matter of networking. It's really, honestly, it's a matter of staying tuned to Z2Z.com, right? There is an incredible amount of information out there. It's just, you have to go and reach out and get it, right, Monica?
Absolutely. And I think having the internet is an incredible thing. As we take it for granted sometimes, it is so informative, and all you have to do is anything you need is on Google, on YouTube. Anything you need is there. All you have to do is just research. I'm looking for help for my business, and you will be surprised to see all these associations that are national nonprofits that are there to support businesses.
Right.
And it is incredible the amount of information that you can gather and how much you can learn. And these people who use Instagram and Facebook and all these social media platforms that can give you my website, for example. If you go into the hispaniclibertyalliance.org, we actually guide you on how to find your legislatures, how to find your representatives in the US Congress and Senate, and we tell you which websites you need to use to find help with any state or federal agency. We also guide you on educational options for children, and we give you some information about how to find this. So if you go, you will find a lot of organizations that have so many resources. And networking, going to a lot of meetings and meeting people, is a way to increase your business, to even exchange services. Did you know that there is a website called iTrade? I just discovered it this week. And I don't know if it's national or it's just in Arizona, but you can trade your services for other services with other business owners.
Yeah.
I thought it was incredible. I thought that there were those options before, but I didn't really go into it. I didn't go into the website. And I thought it was incredible.
I think, like I said, I think in summary, I think there is a vast amount of information that's out there that can support the minority business owner. It's just a matter of looking, researching, asking questions, supporting your local chamber, supporting the local small business association, and a franchise organization, to go into the IFA conferences and conventions, participate in networking with the IFA or the International Franchise Association, and really petitioning to your franchisor to really help you, support you with minority-based assistance, and I think that eventually that will come as more and more we talk about this, as more and more Hispanics come into franchising. but I think that what's really interesting to me is the fact that there is a lot of government agencies that are very helpful, and a lot of us want to stay away from the government. We have our opinions on the government, and but there is some agencies that do great work in supporting the entrepreneur, the minority entrepreneur, and also the Monica, that your representative can be an advocate for you for the IRS, which is amazing. I never thought that was the thing. And I don't know if people, I don't know how many people know that you can do that.
Oh
No.
yeah, and I can spend hours and hours giving you amazing examples. Let me give you an example that is incredible. I have a couple of examples. One business owner was billed $47,000, and their congressman got it out of the $47,000 within 40 days with the IRS, and it wasn't in error. And this person was about to pay, thinking they were, because they gave up, and their lawyer couldn't even reason. So I had another case, a business owner that it was a franchise owner. The franchise owner needed to fly for a very important business meeting, like an emergency. I don't even know the nature of the emergency, but he had to fly to Asia, and his passport was expired. And the Department of State, the passport agency, actually gave him a passport the day before he was flying to Asia because he
Wow.
had an emergency. He contacted his Congress, his US Senator, actually, and the US Senator contacted the passport agency, and the passport agent was able to feed him that day. So it was like a Monday, and on Tuesday, he was on his way to Asia. And
Wow.
this was not even life or death situation, because I know that when it's a life or death situation, is even more, even they make more emphasis because they want to help you. They can contact the embassies abroad for you. If you have an issue abroad and you can get a hold of your embassy, your family can contact them, their congressman or senator, and they will contact the embassy whenever you are when you have a problem. So, in the military issues, and I can go on and on, um, immigration. I know of a franchise owner that had an issue with hiring employees, right? They brought employees from somewhere else, and there was a mistake that immigration made with the visas. They were denied in error, and a congressman contacted immigration and fixed the visa issues for those employees for this franchise owner that was about to open the business.
Amazing. Amazing.
So we can talk about this forever, and it's incredible. The testimonials are everywhere online, and it's just incredible when you contact your elected officials and they are there for you. They represent you, and you must speak up. They won't come to you many times, but you can come to them, and you can mobilize others around you. And you need to learn about legislation, bills. One of the things that we encourage people is, imagine a world with less regulations and less bureaucracy and less red tape. And that's one of the beautiful things that the state of Arizona has. We have had many people that advocate for that, and we have removed many regulations and things that have happened, because of people's advocacy and people mobilizing each other and talking to each other. So very important that you get involved with the government for two reasons: one, for legislation, and two, for help.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't look to the government for help. They look away from the government. They want to walk the other direction, and so it's very hard for someone to think in that way for the support. But I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised, at the many the many agencies, the many ways that the government can assist you, sort of indirectly, but through their agencies, and through your state and local representatives. It's an amazing thing. Through this time, from meeting you via Senator Kern, and then meeting other senators within that realm, and being exposed to that, I'm learning a lot about how the government works. It's important to always be in front of the opportunity. And if that opportunity lies within the government, why not, right? And with agencies like yourself, that is supportive, That is fantastic, and that's one way that I think that the Hispanic Liberty Alliance can support and help. And So I'm excited. I'm excited. It's just great information, Monica.
Absolutely. And we look forward to having more meetings. You attended one of our receptions. We want to have business attending, and we welcome everyone. Just because we're the Hispanic Liberty Alliance doesn't mean we won't welcome any other person. We're diverse, we're inclusive, and we want to help everyone. So,
Yeah.
whenever we have business, we're going to start announcing our business mixers, and we want business to come and exchange cars and talk about what they do and help each other. And by meeting with each other, they might learn something new, they might learn resources, and they might learn it from us. And little by little, we're going to expand our operation and make it bigger and bigger, and eventually become very actionable and intentional about mobilizing regarding specific pieces of legislation that can affect you that are coming up, or they might have to be changed or amended, or maybe different things that can happen within our local governments and federal governments.
Right, right, and I'm very honored to have you, Monica, on the show. It was an honor to meet you. It's a great privilege to also, and I also want to thank you for the opportunity for me to be a part of your advisory board of the Hispanic Liberty Alliance. I want to thank you for that opportunity, and however I can help to provide information on the franchise perspective to the Hispanic population that is interested in learning more about franchising. There's another avenue through the Hispanic Liberty Alliance that they can find information out about franchising.
Absolutely. And it's an honor for us to have somebody like you, somebody with your background, your knowledge. We need business owners, we need consultants, and this you can bring a great amount of knowledge for us, and we are very happy to have you. We appreciate you very much. And of course, I don't know if I'm running out of time, but I wanted to thank you for bringing me today. And I hope that our conversation was enlightening, and maybe somebody learned something new about something they didn't know, and that they can maybe utilize more resources, and
Yeah.
maybe use useful tools for them for their business.
No, for 100%. And I think this has been a fantastic opportunity. Again, there are so many, the go to the mbda.gov, the Minority Business Development Agency, and also, the Hispanic Liberty Alliance.org. That's Hispanic Liberty Alliance.org for that. You can also go down to www.z2zee, that's Z, the number 2, zee.com, and pick up the information there as well. Monica, I really enjoyed the conversation. So much information. We probably could have spoke for about another hour or so, with all the information that you have to provide for the Hispanic minority business owner. And we're looking forward to many of the social networking events that you'll have. I'm here to serve, and I really do appreciate you being on Z2Z.
Very excited, and I want to attend those conferences and those events. My husband actually happened to attend the franchise conference expo that happened here in
Yeah,
Phoenix last year. So, or was either was early this year in February, I think, or last year. But I'm looking forward to attend it myself because
yeah. The big one is coming in this February 17th, I believe, to the 19th of February. It's the International Franchise Association convention. There's roughly about 4,000 plus people there in attendance, and it's everything from A to Z about franchising. And we have great speakers, great networking opportunities. It's a great opportunity to learn about franchising. Monica, thank you again for being on Z2Z. We really do appreciate it, and we're looking forward to have you again on the show. And we'll talk a little bit more and get some updates on any new information that can support and help the Hispanic minority business owner.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Monica, for providing great insight onto the many resources available that support the Hispanic franchisees. As always, you can listen to Z to Z on our website at www.z2z.com. That's Z2ZEE.com. And on Spotify or on your favorite podcast platform. And please always remember to always like and subscribe and download Z to Z. As always, I like to end the podcast with a quote. The path to business success remains the same. Train your mind, have discipline, work hard, and do not fear rejection. Louis Picasso. Until next time.